that we're putting into this foundation. And we want to make sure that part of this money goes to education, part of this money goes to environment, and part of this money goes to the health of our people. But how do we invest in that? For instance, the beginning of this year, and probably even before I come to the beginning of this year, I should remind you that Athi River Mining, this Rhino Cement Foundation was launched towards the end of last year.
Yes.
But Athi River Mining has been doing the corporate social activities over the years. But there was a felt need that this time we need a more targeted, a more measurable approach, a more organized and structured approach, so that we can be able to know if we have carried out this activity this year, what do we need to carry out the next year, and what was targeted for this year but was not achieved, what were the reasons?
I see.
So that we sit down and say, yes, we have done this much, but we can do better. Now, the Rhino Cement Foundation, for instance, in the educational pillar this year, we have undertaken to pay school fees for more than 10 girls, from Form 1 to Form 4. And now questions come, why girls, why not boys? We have especially in high school, the transition of boys from primary to secondary school is more than the transition of girls from primary to secondary school. So we have decided to bridge this gap. Many times people talk about the government can do it, they cannot do everything for us. We as a private sector have got to come in so that we intervene. We see that some of these imbalances in society.
You can correct that.
We can correct that.
Absolutely.
So we have sponsored these girls.
10.
From Form 1 to Form 4, full fees paid for, pocket money, shopping, everything. Because most of these girls that we picked are from very poor backgrounds.
True.
Most of them are orphans. So we don't expect to pay school fees.
And then let them sort themselves out.
Does not have the basics in school to learn. So that's what we have decided to do.
So full sponsorship.
Full sponsorship. And Jimmy, I would want to tell you that sometimes we leave corporate or what we could call the social responsibilities to companies and NGOs. No. Even you as an individual, you can be able to sponsor that. Because I remember early this year when we were going through the forms for these girls, some cases were so touching. Members of staff of Athi River Mining decided that no, even if the Rhino Cement Foundation is going to do this, I'm also going to sponsor a girl. The school fees for this girl is only 20,000 a year. I can afford that. That translates to about less than 2,000 shillings a month.
That's true.
So many members of staff of Athi River Mining, and I thank them for that, have decided to sponsor a number of girls
on their own.
So that's what we are preaching to Kenyans.
Well done.
That let us not wait for the companies, let us not wait for the international NGOs
to come here and
start sponsoring. You too can sponsor.
That's true.
Another thing that we have now decided to do is that we are expanding this scholarship to university. Right now, we are in the process of recruiting the students who are joining university this year, who probably start for their KCSE examination 2009, and therefore they're joining this year. We are in the process of recruiting them for scholarships in specific disciplines. The disciplines of medicine, we have mechanical engineering, we have architecture, we also have civil engineering and chemical engineering. And the question is, why this course?
Why?
The reason is...
I see chemical, because that's more your...
Yes. As for River Mining, we are more... We employ a lot of engineers.
Right.
And many times you see companies advertising on paper, we need an engineer with this number of years of experience. But how much has that company invested in the education of this particular individual?
That's true.
So let us pay for their school fees, like what we're doing to the girls from Form 1 to Form 4. When they get to Form 4, we continue that scholarship. When they get to university and they're done with the education, they can choose to come and work for us or work for somebody else. But our aim is not to train people. Our main aim is not to train people who are going to work for us. Our aim is to train people who are going to change society.
Hold on.
If you get our scholarship, after your studies, you also, depending on your level of income, you also pick one girl, one boy, and you sponsor. That means we have made a positive impact in society.
Absolutely. Let me ask you something. This is powerful. But Rhino Cement, or Athi River Mining for that matter, is in the business of mining and manufacturing. How will you, so you've got 10, and if you're going to do this every year, then you'll have a time when you'll have quite a number of children in high school or university for that matter. Talk about that component that monitors and makes sure that they, that they achieve certain grades, or they achieve the highest grade that is possible. And if not, if they, falter on the wayside, how then do you reevaluate your scholarship in terms of how the performance will be?
What we have decided to do, we are not simply paying school fees and paying
and
for the finances for these girls, for these boys.
Right.
What you have decided to do is to allocate them mentors from Athi River Mining. If you are having a scholarship through the Rhino Cement Foundation, you have a mentor or you have a couple of mentors. These are the employees from Athi River Mining and the directors also from Athi River Mining who will make a follow-up. We'll make sure that you're doing well in school. Whatever that is bothering you, that's going to make you not to achieve, is dealt with immediately.
I see.
So that at the end of the day, what we want to